Best practices for collecting survey data in person. An in-person survey ensures respondents have easy access, available support on site, and dedicated space and time to complete the survey with few distractions. You can conduct in-person surveys of youth in a group setting, for example, during a class or another planned gathering, or individually. You can administer a paper and pencil survey, or youth can take it online if there is access to a computer lab, laptops, tablets, or mobile devices for all participating youth. Let's say you're ready to administer a survey in person, an institutional review board has approved all the materials, including the survey, and you have a roster of collected consent forms from parents or guardians of youth younger than 18. First, obtain the youth's own agreement or assent to complete the survey with parent or guardian consent to participate. The process of obtaining assent gives youth younger than 18 the opportunity to opt out of the survey, even if their parent or guardian consented to their participation. Write the assent in plain language and include the purpose of the survey, the amount of time it should take to complete it, how data will be used and by whom, how data will be protected to maintain youth confidentiality, and when data will be archived or destroyed. This allows youth to weigh the risks and benefits before they agree to participate. The assent should clearly state all survey answers are confidential, participation is voluntary, youth can skip any questions that make them uncomfortable, and they can change their minds about participating at any time with no negative consequences. The assent should also describe any incentives for youth participating in the survey, such as a gift card. They can give their assent on the first page of the survey. You should read the assent aloud to the group to ensure they all understand it. If the survey is administered on paper, collect signed assent forms before starting the survey. For online surveys, participants must give assent on the first page before they can advance. For anyone older than 18 who doesn't need consent from a parent or guardian, use this same process to collect their consent forms at the time of survey administration. Have extra copies of any materials in case youth bring signed consent forms with them on the day of the survey. Create an environment that facilitates privacy so youth can be comfortable responding to survey questions honestly. You can do this by using privacy screens or placing youth around the room, separated from each other. For example, if the survey is in an online format, the survey administrator may adapt the room so youth can only see their own screen. If the survey is paper and pencil format, consider adding a cover sheet to the survey so youth's responses are not visible when they finish it. The survey administrator must be present in the room, but should avoid walking in between desks or tables so that youth feel like they have some privacy while completing the survey. Request they remain quiet during the survey and put away personal phones and other devices for the entirety of the survey period. If any youth do not assent or they do not have parent or guardian consent to participate in the survey, consider asking them to move to another room. If moving to another room is not possible, ask them to engage in a silent activity such as reading or doing classwork. Be prepared to respond to questions and concerns youth may have during the survey. If possible, have at least 2 administrators in the room while they are taking the survey. One administrator can answer questions and the other can monitor the rest of the group. Clarifying instructions or skip patterns is permitted, but you should not clarify words or phrases or define any of the terms used in the survey. For example, if a youth wants to know what a question is asking about, you can respond neutrally by stating whatever it means to you, or simply prompting the student to reread the question. This neutral style response reduces any potential biases and ensures consistency across survey administrations. If the survey has items on sensitive topics, such as sexual activity, some youth might get uncomfortable or upset. Follow your SRAE program or host organization's existing protocol for supporting youth who have an emotional response to the survey questions or disclose a traumatic experience. Identify the best way to securely collect completed surveys based on the room arrangement and group size. To maintain youth's privacy, it is best to wait until everyone has finished the survey, which avoids drawing attention to early or late completers. This is particularly important when students will finish at different times because there are skip patterns in the survey. Collect all paper materials and keep the roster, Assent forms, and completed surveys in separate folders to avoid combining survey responses with information that would identify students. To obtain high response rates when collecting data in person, first motivate youth to return consent forms on time. A high response rate will provide a more complete picture of what the youth have learned and whether they are satisfied with the program. For example, you can hold friendly competitions between classrooms or offer snacks if more than 90% of youth return the consent form, even if the parent's response is no. Next, choose a time and location to encourage high attendance. For example, do not schedule the survey close to a school holiday. To administer a computer-based survey in person, schedule time in a computer lab or reserve school laptops or tablets. Make sure the survey is easy to read, not repetitive, and not so long that youth are tempted not to respond or to give hurried or incomplete responses. For youth, the survey should take no more than 30 minutes. Keeping it short will also encourage high response rates. In preparation for the survey, advertise how short the time commitment is and give incentives for participating. To recap, for successful in-person data collection, use the strategies described in this video to 1. Obtain youth assent or consent, 2. Ensure privacy, 3. Address youth's questions and concerns, and 4. Encourage high response rates. For more information on in-person survey data collection, please see the accompanying tip sheet, visit our website at serene.com, or contact the Serene team at sraeta@mathematica-mpr.com.